Hey. Okay, yay, the second ding. We're
Okay.
live. All right. So today, our interview, I have, okay, say your last name for me.
Oh, Brasure.
Brasure. Okay, I
Yes.
always said it brochure. Like, I know that's not right, but
Yeah.
Trudy Brasure. Um, she is an author that I've been following for several years, which I'm super excited. Thank you so much for joining me. This is your first video interview, so I get
Right.
like an exclusive look. Trudy was impelled to write an original alteration and continuation to the North and South love story by Elizabeth Gaskell. As a busy stay-at-home mom, mother of three children, Trudy takes refuge in reading and writing about bygone eras. A lover of history and a hopeless romantic, she enjoys reading both real and fictional accounts of love and life in times past. She currently lives in the San Francisco Bay Area. And is that still true? You still live in the area?
Yeah.
I'm in Long Beach right now.
Here I am. I'm still here. I've moved a few
Okay.
times, but I'm still in the San Francisco area.
Yeah, cool. I'm originally from Kansas, and I'm just here in California for a few months, so that's kind of cool.
Yeah.
Your two books are A Heart for Milton, and that can be found. It has heartformilton.com, its own website, and then your second book, In Consequence, which both of them you can get on Amazon
Mm-hmm.
in Kindle or print.
Right.
I haven't been able to find. Have you created a website for In Consequence?
No, I'm thinking of starting my own blog,
Oh,
and I'll have more information on both of them there probably.
okay, that sounds good. And all of the links to everything on your Facebook page, and I found your Twitter account. I'm going to leave all of those links below the video.
Great.
So, yay, hello. So, as you might have guessed, I'm a huge geeky fan of your writing. And I wanted to start off. I wanted to tell a little story about how I found you because it's kind of funny. I was let's see, it was like 2013.
Mm-hmm.
I had known about North and South Story. I had really loved the book, but I was in a really rough time in my life, and I came across fanfiction.net. Have you
Okay.
heard of that? Have
Oh
you heard
yeah.
of that?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So I came across that, and I had never heard of fan fiction before. I didn't know what it was, and I saw that, oh, okay, people write stories based off of like other famous books and other famous authors. Like, okay, so I looked like, well, what about North and South? Because I was reading it at the time, and I found like it was like finding a gold mine. I spent like the next year reading North and South fan fiction. And so once I worked through all of the ones I could find on fanfiction.net, I moved to Amazon, and that's how I found you
Haha.
and your book, A Heart for Milton. And then I became obsessed with you. So, first of all, how did you become a writer? When did you start writing?
Huh. Well, you know the BBC adaptation of North and South, right?
Right, yes.
Mr. Richard Armitage.
Yes.
I watched that once by accident, and I could not stop thinking about that story. I think it hit all my buttons. It has so many elements to it. And it was in a low point in my life too, a little bit. So it was a rough patch in my marriage and struggling to find my identity, raising small little children. You get overrun, you know?
Yeah.
Um, but it was Richard Armitage's performance and the story itself that just, I couldn't let go of the story. And so I kept thinking about it and thinking about it. And I was joining some internet sites where other people were fans of the story. And they were telling fan fiction stories. I'd never heard of it either. And I was reading all the fan fiction just like you were. Eventually, I couldn't let go of that one particular scene where they said goodbye to each other and they went their separate ways, even though they were madly in love with each other, but they didn't understand.
Do you
So,
mean like the scene where like after her father died,
yes.
where they felt like he's like, we're never going to see each other again,
Right.
sort of a, yeah.
Right. That broke my heart, and I had to fix that. So I kept thinking, how could they have done that differently? And I kept thinking and thinking. I was at birthday parties with my children. I was still sitting there thinking, how can I? And the dialogue started to come to me, and then how they might have been able to work that scene differently came to me, and then I started writing it out. It just kept coming so vividly. I wanted to write it. And then I knew on my website with my friends, not the internet set, C19, that they were sharing fan fiction stories. I thought, well, maybe I should share mine. And so I found a little friend who had also written some fan fiction and asked her if she'd like to look at my little story I had just started. She said, sure. So I sent her what I had, and she was an editor as well, and she started looking at it, and she sent it back. And eventually I posted it, and people loved it, so I kept going.
Yeah.
And it kept coming to me, and I had a great time writing it, and it was wonderful that people loved it too. So that's how it started. I had never written before.
You had never written before this?
I had never written before. That was my first time writing fiction. I just had to write a different way of that story. I just had to.
Yeah. You just had to.
Yeah. I mean, I could not let it go. It was just in my head all the time. So I had to write it. So
you had mentioned you found the movie first.
Yes. I read the book about 4 weeks later.
Okay, and then you read the book. So the difference between the movie and the book, which one did you like better? Go.
I think it's changed over time. Initially, I fell in love with the film version, but now I love the book more. But in my book, A Heart for Milton, I do take more elements from the movie because I think that most of the people are coming from that.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, and the vision and the images that were given in the film are so compelling that I want the reader to also see those same images that were in the film. But now, with my second story, I've added a little bit more elements from the book because now the book is my favorite. And those images from the movie are there, but it's the underlying Gaskell story that touches my heart. So.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. I do have I'm probably like a 50-50.
Yeah, I love both of them.
I love both of them, and I like the perspectives that both of them give too.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, like you said, a lot of the fan fiction, they're mostly based on the movie,
mm-hmm.
and it's something that I think that basing something off of the movie with fan fiction is you can imagine the characters a little better,
yes,
putting a face to it and putting a voice to it, definitely.
And when I'm writing John Thornton, I am hearing Richard Armitage's voice.
Yeah, he was perfect.
And the looks he makes, the faces he makes, yes, that's in my stories. I can't help that. But the John Thornton character, the underlying who they are, I really wanted to be Gaskell's as well, though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So on the subject of the movie, what was your best scene in the movie?
I think I like the dinner scene.
Oh, where they fight?
Yes, because for some reason, there's all the elements are almost right there. There's that strong physical attraction between them, especially on Thornton's part. And she looks gorgeous. He looks great. They're fighting about the important issues that surround them, what's going on with the strike. And it's the spark between them. And he's listening to her. He's listening to her. She's just a nobody, a girl who's new to town, a girl, and he's listening to her. I find that so awesome.
Yeah. I got to admit, my favorite scene, I mean, I love the tension in the whole, definitely that dinner scene was.
Yeah, there was lots of tension.
They first see each other and they're dressed all nice and, there's that tension there. But I gotta say, the kissing scene at the end.
Well, that's a given, right?
That's a given, but I want to say that is the best kissing scene of any BBC period drama I have seen ever.
I don't know if I can come up with a film that has a better kiss scene at all in the whole genre of filmmaking.
Yeah, right? I remember watching the extras of the actors talking about that scene. They spent a whole day filming it, and And I do know, like, yes, obviously that did not happen in the book, but I remember reading somewhere that Gaskell, she kind of rushed the ending, and so the ending in the book wasn't quite what she wanted, but she kind of just wrote it out like that to, I think it was like she had a deadline to publishing. But I think that's that's like a perfect adaptation to end it for, you know, obviously you're not going to kiss in public back then, but
No, the kiss in public is not
as
true.
far as all of the other inappropriate, how dare you?
Yeah, but we'll forgive BBC for that one because
But yes.
that kiss was just too awesome to skip. So, but there was a kiss in the book. People sometimes forget that. So you can imagine that same tender, passionate kiss in the back drawing room at Aunt Shaw's if you're a book reader.
Yes, yeah.
Because there was a kiss in the book too. It's just that it wasn't out in public.
Right, right.
Yeah. And I love the book ending just as much as the train ending. I really do.
Yes, yes, I do.
They get
Yes.
to hug, and they get to she puts her arms around his neck like she had in the riot. It's really sweet.
Definitely. Now, part of what I do I'm an artist, and I use art, and I teach art ways, art techniques and things to help alleviate depression and like dark times and stressful times. Well, I'd like to know if your writing helps you cope with life better.
I'm sure it does. It gives me an outlet for myself, and as a busy mom, I think that's really important. It gives me something to be intellectual about and creative about. So when I set time aside to write, it's my me time, and it's also my charging my passion time. And I think that helps give me a better balance for the whole rest of the day, right? And the whole thrust of life. I have something that's going that's just mine. And it's really important, I think, especially for moms.
Yeah.
They get lost in their children's lives. So
yeah, I'm not a mom, but I do have a sister. Yeah. She has 2 kids and 1 on the way, and I get to hear it from her perspective a lot of and I can just imagine. Yeah, your whole life just surrounds your kids.
Yeah. So while my life is kind of like a little mini chaos, I can be writing this perfect little love story, you know.
Yeah, we all need our little fantasies, and
right, exactly.
Yeah, that's so cool. All right, so do you have anything new in the works? Are you working more on North and South, or have you gotten any other interests of any other books?
Well, the whole finding North and South has spurred me into looking into Victorian literature in general, because I wanted to be able to know what I was talking about when I was promoting Gaskell's work. So I've been reading Dickens and Trollope and Hardy and Austen, because everyone compares the love story Pride and Prejudice with North and South. So I've been trying to read all these Victorian authors, and I've been really loving it too. But I have started a 3rd book. I just haven't been as diligent and writing as I had in the past. So
yeah, how far along are you?
About 2 chapters written.
Oh, okay. Would you ever publish like first drafts or something on like a fan fiction website?
Well, the last 2
or
books.
Would you like get edited?
Wait until it's finished?
Yeah.
In the past, I did publish chapter by chapter on a internet site. And so that helped me keep going, because I knew people were waiting for the next chapter.
Yeah.
So it really did help me keep my momentum going. But I haven't done this one yet. I would probably wait until I had at least 3 chapters written before I even want to try that. And then I would have to be on the ball and keep going.
Yeah.
I don't want to let people down. I like to finish things, because there are tons of North and South fan fiction stories that are not finished.
Right. Yes, that's true. I actually just last week, one of the ones that I was following that had not been updated for probably 2 or 3 years. I just got, like, she just updated another chapter.
Wow.
And it's like, wow. I don't even remember what the story was about. That was so far ago, but yes. Well, that's so exciting. Yay. I can't wait to see what you write. And I will definitely be a spokesperson for it. I'm probably like the first person to get it.
Yeah, because North and South still interests me. I have read the book over several times. I've done a couple group reads with it. I still love it. So as long as the passion's there, I think I might as well just keep writing.
Yeah, totally.
Because people will read them.
Yeah, totally. Yeah. Well, exciting. Thank you for being on again.
Sure.
Is the best way for people to be connected with you? You have a Facebook page, which I'll link to that, and your Twitter.
Yes.
And then your website, do you still use, no, you said you're creating your own blog, so I'm sure we'll all hear about what your blog is. Yeah. Is it up already?
No, I just in the back of into my plans. It's on the back burner, but I really want to do this. So.
Okay, great. Yeah. Well, thank you again for having me you on.
Sure, that's fun.
And we'll end it there.
Okay, great. Thank you. Okay, bye.